Thank you, Andy. Thank you, Coach. Coach,
How
first
you
off,
doing, Pat?
I'm doing well. First off, Semper Fidelis, former Marine as well, from 2010,
Simplify.
2014, a couple pumps in the sandbox. So it's
Yep.
and also an NAIA football coach as well. So still trying to
Very
make my
good.
way up. Yep.
Very good.
But Coach, first off, congratulations on the promotion. Obviously very unexpected, but
Yep.
Marines make do. Semper Gumby, always.
There you go.
Coach, yeah. Coach, being an offensive line guy, are you gonna? How's this whole like scheme going as far as like changing things up? Do you want to implement some of the stuff you've done over the years? Continuing to maintain with the strengths and everything of obviously EJ and Troy, or are you kind of just keeping everything as same as the transition? I know Coach Wiz has always used kind of a lot of different receiving options, but he's also not afraid to go into like a power gap scheme as well.
Right. I think the biggest thing, okay, when you're in my shoes right now, is to remember where you are and what your purpose is. So I consider my right now the position coach, which is 8 hours. All right. I consider my purpose was to develop offensive linemen and to get them ready to play in the NFL, which I believe is what this league is all about. And so now, as the head coach, I really believe that at every position. So I'm trying to have an influence, obviously, on both the offense and the defense. I'm trying to let the ship sail and just keep it on, get it back on course. Now that we've lost our leader, so get it back on course. But the biggest thing for me is that each player, when his head hits the pillow the night before the game, right, he says, okay, where am I? I'm not in the NFL. I'm not playing for the Green Bay Packers. I'm playing for the Memphis Showboats. And so where do I want to be? I want to play for the Green Bay Packers. I want to play for the New England Patriots. And that's what their dream is. And I understand that. So to me, I want to get every guy on the field. I want every guy, when his head hits the pillow the night before this game, he's saying, well, I'm not trying to win the game for Turner. I'm trying to win. I want them, they're going to play for the Memphis Showboats, and they're going to try and showcase all of their talents and abilities. And that's on offense and defense. Am I saying that every guy is going to get the equal amount of playing time? No. But I am saying that we are attempting to do that. We are attempting to play all the players that are on that sideline. And I really think, with the heat that you have down there in Memphis and all of that, we're in Texas as well, so we know the heat. But at the same time, people need to be replaced like receivers and so on. They need to be replaced in football games. The more guys you can rotate, the more guys you play, the more fresh they are, the better they play. And that's a fact. And so, and to answer your question, when you talk about the scheme, okay, so we're going to run Ken's offense. So nothing's going to change because every night my head hits the pillow, I know that Ken can come ripping back through this door, and I hope he does. And if he does, we're going to run his offense. I'm not going to change one thing. And so we're using his terminology, all the same stuff. And I think it would be selfish of me right now if I were to change that. As I got here, this will be what I got the job 4 days before the 5 days before the first game. So that'd be selfish of me to do that. I'm not going to do that, right? These guys are comfortable, even though the system's new for everybody. They're comfortable in the system right now. They know the system, the snap count, all of that stuff. So I won't let anybody change one thing. The defense is intact. Our defense is ready to go. It's the same coach, the same scheme, all of that. So I won't let anybody change anything. We're going to run the plays that Ken would have run. And I know, like the head coach of Michigan, he knows the scheme. They've studied. They know Ken. They know the whole scheme. So nothing's going to change. If anybody's listening, nothing's going to run the same stuff.
Awesome. Thank you, Coach. Thank you, Andy. Thank you, EJ. EJ, obviously, it's kind of been a whirlwind for you since you kind of came into the spring football scene and whatnot. Stints in the NFL, whether it be in training camp and practice squad, having success with Michigan, going back to that playoff game in 2023. It's kind of been nonstop chaos a little bit. How has been the transition just to Memphis? And can you walk us through a little bit how you originally got to Memphis? Obviously, plenty of talent quarterbacks in Michigan. A lot better opportunity here, it appears.
Yeah, yeah, it's been a whirlwind for sure, and that's kind of how it is in professional football. You never know. There's only a handful of guys at any position that have job security, that have stability, and you learn that really quickly. Guys are getting cut, claimed, going home for 6 weeks, coming back for 6 weeks, and you just kind of learn to live in this kind of mindset and get take the opportunities as they come and continue to stay prepared at every time. And as far as Memphis, yeah, it was a great opportunity to come here. Coach Nolan worked it out for me. I have my wife is back in Tennessee, or she will be back in Tennessee for the season. So for her to be able to come to games and see her, she's pregnant, and we're expecting our first child. So eases that a little bit as well. So it was an opportunity that kind of fit everyone, and yeah, I'm thankful for Coach Nolan making it happen.
The follow up as well, EJ. We talked about it with Coach Turner. How much of the intel side of this have you kind of given? Have you kind of given based off your experience in Michigan? Obviously, Coach Bauer going into his second season as DC. I'm sure there's some tips and traits that you could pass along to not just the quarterbacks, but also to the defensive side of the ball as well.
Sure. I mean, offenses and defenses change every year, and there's lots of turnover, and coaches are trying to do different things. So I'm sure there'll be new things that they have ready for us. And the biggest thing I think to understand and stress to these guys is just their mentality. Their defense flies around. They get 11 hats to the ball. They do a great job. They have a lot of great players. Like, we all have to show up and be ready to play this game. And I think we are, and everyone's ready to meet that challenge. They have, straight through the middle of the field, you have Breland, Kai Nakua, and Frank Ginda kind of holding it down as three of their best players. And they have players all over that field. So being ready for that, knowing that, hey, we have to execute, be sharp on our details, and do a great job is the biggest thing. And then offensively, they have a ton of talent at the receiver position. Marcel likes to spread them out and throw the football, run the football, and we all have to be ready to play a good game of football and execute well.
Well, best of luck, EJ. No red jersey this time going against Breland and that crew. So best of luck. EJ, obviously a little bit of the elephant in the room. Has there been any insight as far as who will be taking the majority of the reps? Is it going to be a 2 QB system like we've seen some other teams announce, or are you guys kind of keeping that close to the chest until game one?
Yeah, I have no idea what Coach Turner said, but that's a question for him.
Fair enough. Thank
Okay.
you. John, obviously been in this game for a minute, decent amount of success in the NFL last 3 years, going on 4 in spring football. Have you kind of seen yourself as more of the leadership mentorship as you continue to grow, being very vocal about, like you said, controlling the controllables, eliminate the outside noise and whatnot? How much of a leadership role have you kind of had to take during these trying times?
The good thing about this team, and a lot of guys, they know about the accolades like NFL, like college, even the success I had in the UFL. It's with me more so. You kind of can tell like I'm a man of little words. Like, I rarely talk, but when I do say something, it's everybody like lock in on, because when I rarely say something, but when I say stuff, they buy into it. And honestly, the whole leadership part of it is, I mean, because if you don't have leadership, then your team is like doomed, because now it's not really gonna kind of add up or make sense, because you only go as far as your leads go. And with me, I embrace the leadership role. Like me, I don't, like, if everyone would have asked like, "Hey, we're gonna vote for a leader today," I never vote for me. I never voted for me, because I don't. I'm more so a work guy, and my leadership is kind of more so off of my plate instead of me talking.
Great.